would work better if I put on my mic.
Evening, Francois. Yep.
Good evening, guys. Let me switch camera real quick. We are now live. Howdy. So I put a link to join in the RC talk, either on my Facebook, on my Google Plus, and on the chat here. There's a link also. So I have Kagan here. Steve is in the chat room. And tonight, I want to talk about a bunch of different things. 3-camera view. Look, I'm making straps with some nice hooks.
Oh, yeah. Tie downs?
Yeah, tie downs. Should be kind of cool. Let me bring that to the front. No, it's that one. Sorry about that. Let me just do a couple little magic trick here. So real quick, a guy asked me to come up with something to tie his truck down on the trailer. So what I've done is I've used a paper clip, and I did quickly bend them to do a hook. It's kind of a double hook, so it makes it even stronger. And then I actually used Velcro that comes, it's 2-sided Velcro.
Okay, yeah.
So I cut it a little thinner to make straps. So I made 2 straps, one with a hook at the end and nothing at the other end. And the other one has the strap. So you can hook this on, one side of the trailer, hook the other one, and then just tie down your car on the trailer with these.
Nice.
That's kind of cool.
I used paper clips and hair ties for bungee cord.
Yep. Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to actually do this on YouTube and all that. How to do bungee cords, scale bungee cords. So it's kind of cool. And that's what they do use. You just use a paper clip and turn it. Sir Shrimp-a-Lot from Toronto. Good evening, sir. Thanks for joining in. If you want to join in, the link is just above, or just stay in the chat. Even if you guys join in, you don't need your camera on. Some people are camera shy. You can actually log on, shut off your camera, and actually talk with your microphone. It stops you from typing. I like that better myself. I don't like the typing stuff.
Right.
I'm old school. Grant's RC is also in the chat room. Hey guys, regulars are pouring in. Cool. So, the topic tonight, I was trying to come up with a topic, and basically, I saw some chats and some things going on about Vanquish, and I've been seeing this for years, about Integy, about Level 3 RC, GPM Racing. There's a lot of people that are doing metal upgrades. It's not just metal upgrade. There is some plastic upgrades. There is a lot of different upgrades for RC. And to me, it's just like there's a lot of different upgrades for real cars. Like if you go to the King of Hammers, there's a lot of trucks there, and there's a lot of manufacturers that makes parts for cars.
Right.
What to me, what is it gonna take for me to buy a certain part of RC? To me, it's all depends how serious you are in what you want to do. If you want to be a good short course racer, you buy yourself a real good short course that's light, that can take the curve. You don't buy a Traxxas. Traxxas are meant for bashing. Yes, they can go in races. I've actually raced in some races, and it was kind of funny in a sense. Some of the guys, they were really quick in the long run, and they were really quick, but I was kind of quicker around the corners. But what was funny is that as soon as they bumped me, because I had so much weight, I'm charging a battery back here. Let me shut it off. as long as it doesn't go poof.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's a NIM and a NiCad battery. I found out that in my tank, I actually had a NiCad battery.
Gotcha.
That was kind of funny. So when you charge up your battery, just change subject real quick. Always read on your battery. This is the battery that came in the tank. I have no idea how old it is. I remember me changing the connector because it used to have a Tamiya connector. But this actually says NIM on it. So I know that this is a nickel metal hydride battery. But this one, I thought it was a NIM also until I started reading the print, and it's actually a NiCad.
Which is nickel cadmium.
Yeah, so it's a different battery. They look exactly the same, right. But you got to set your charger at a different settings, or else you might harm the battery or do something. So you just got to be careful how you charge your batteries. Really look at what type of batteries it is before you're charging.
Take your time, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Steve says he thought it was his charger telling it that his alarm was off.
Right.
So let me switch to the camera to this thing. So I did a quick search earlier just on Vanquish, Integy, and RC, just what's in my title. And what was kind of funny is my RC talk came up, and that was pretty fast. But so a whole bunch of different searches came up. Steve is saying, speaking of Traxxas, I got the new UDR. Oh,
nice.
Cool.
I think it's 50 miles an hour out of the box at least.
Yeah, that new short course truck. It's pretty sweet.
Yep.
So there's a lot of options for you guys to actually buy stuff. And like I was saying, I was racing a short course truck in my Slash, and it was a 4x4. I was doing very good, but as soon as I went around corners, people were bumping into me, but they were flying because I had so much weight. But that weight really killed me in the straight ahead. But that said, it was fun. But there's a lot of option when you go to RC Mart. When you go to GPM, that's another place where they sell some RC part. And just like when you go, I found this site from the Google search, so there's a bunch of different stuff there also. What's confusing, I find, with some people is when they're new in this, okay, where do they buy? What do they do? So it can get very confusing. But just like with a real car, you got to ask questions. You got to look at reviews. You got to look at different stuff.
No. You realize that there's different types of aluminum out there, different qualities, different hardnesses.
Yes, there is different type of aluminum, so you got to be aware of the level. Do you know the name of the different types of aluminum? I can never remember them.
Yeah, I forget too. I remember watching one of your RC chats when you guys got into it, and forget who it was that lives near Toronto there. He was talking about it in depth.
Yeah, he just moved
Niagara Falls.
Yeah, he just moved to Europe. He's in England now.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of sad. Grant's RC just joined in the chat.
His name was Brett. That's right. Go Brett or go home.
Yep. Brett. So Vanquish is a very nice company that does very high quality product. So does GCM Racing, but the price is very expensive. So to me, if you're gonna be in this and be competitive and build a ultimate racer or ultimate rock racer to actually compete, you don't have a choice to invest into this. But if you're going to be just the backyard basher a little bit and so on, I bash, I have fun and all that, but I usually replace it with stock parts until I actually go in the competition. Then I start looking at some different options. So there's a lot of different stuff you can get, a lot of different tools. So just be careful what you buy. Another thing is some people were saying that for the longest time, Team Integy was crap. And also these guys, GPM Racing, was crap. Just like any company, when they first start off, they start off with, yeah, probably lower quality because they're learning too. So as they are learning, as they evolve, as they get older, their quality does get better. I've seen some pretty good stuff come out of some GPM, just like I've seen some pretty nice stuff lately coming out from Team Integy. Integy. I keep calling it Integy. So there is some nice stuff. For the longest time, they had in Team Integy had shocks, and they friggin' sucked. They were no good. Sorry for my language, but they were no good. But they turned it around, and they listened to what some people said, and actually started making some good products.
Yeah, put a little R&D in and fix. Maybe they fix some of the issues that they had with some of the products.
Steve Declar said, is there two different type of Integy part? I was told that they have top stuff and cheap stuff. To me, I never heard that. They might have leftover stuff from another batch, but if we go to off-road cars and we go to an SCX-10 to rock crawler hop-ups, come on website. They have a whole bunch of scaled items. Let's find some. Here are some links. Bumpers. I'll open up this. So this is one of their billet machined, realistic, high torque winch. They actually got a switch here. I'm not sure what that switch is. I'd have to read it up, but that's $50.
Right, yeah, it's decent.
I thought it was a bumper, but it was a winch.
They do sell a bumper combination with a winch, I think, too, and LED lights for a decent price.
I think I'm more into this. Looks like scale accessories. But they have nice rims. They have some nice nice stuff, I find. And the price is affordable. That's what I look for. I'm kind of cheap, so. But I never heard that they had two different type of aluminum to actually get this done.
Right.
I know that Level 3 Racing had some pretty cheap material because I bought some, but that was like, geez, 4 years ago for my Wheelie King. And let me tell you, that aluminum is weak. You look at it and almost bends. So, but they've made some really advance into it. So we go HPI. There's a whole bunch of new ones. Sprint 2. Here's Crawler King. I bought something like this for the front, and I also bought their servo, which is not there no more.
Okay.
But I bought a kit like this on eBay, and let me tell you, it was not like this. There was a heck of a lot more holes, and it wasn't as thick. This looks a heck of a lot better, and they probably listened to some stuff, some people.
Right.
Like 4 years in the evolution of a company makes a difference.
Yep.
So it's just like people. They say that GM is not a good company or Ford is not a good company. I'd never buy a Ford. Well, it's preference. So look at your wallet first and buy it, try it, or listen to what your friends are saying.
Yeah, even if
just don't listen to one person.
Dropping off. Maybe it was just sales dropping off. That would tell them, you know.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I had to shut off my mic there. I was coughing. So there's a lot of different things going on. And let me go back to my camera. And we're back. So what are you guys working on? That's my rant for the night. So it took a whole, not even 30 minutes. Now we can start talking about other stuff. Or keep talking about this.
Recently, I cut out a honcho bed and I'm going to put it into an SR5 Toyota body from Proline, I think. Or a C10 body from Proline, one of the two. Put them all together.
Okay, cool.
Get it ready for spray paint in the spring.
I wish I could show you more in details of this. I'd have to show you some pictures because the camera sometimes don't focus as much. But that was kind of cool last night building that. But now I got to build two more so I can have two sets, one for the front, one for the rear. He's going to use this for, we're having an urban crawl here in Ottawa on the 22nd. So going to be taking some RCs out on the road downtown Ottawa. It's always fun. You always get a lot of people chatting and looking around and saying, oh, this is cool. And you get people asking questions and so on. So it should be interesting.
Definitely. Hopefully the weather's decent for you.
Yeah, weather is really bad here in Ottawa lately. It's bad everywhere.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's kind of shifting here up and down. Be snow flying, and then it'll be sunny and 50 degrees.
Yeah. And since last week, my Winnebago build has been sitting there. I haven't done anything on it. I'm waiting for Chris to come back from
out west.
From out west,
yeah.
So he can build me two machine part that's going to tie from the bumper. It's going to tie and actually attach the frame onto the Winnebago.
Excellent.
Also waiting for a 3D printed engine. And tonight I was supposed to go to the RC meeting and actually meet up with some guys and give him the interior for him to actually start finishing it off, because I want like finished wood on the walls, carpet on the floor, material on the seat. This guy is really crafty and really handy, a heck of a lot more than I am. So I'm asking some local people to pitch in and try to help me finish off this build. Not because I can't, because I can't do it, because I could do it.
Right.
But those guys are so much better than I am. So I'm asking for their help, and some of them are saying yes. So I'm taking advantage of it, and I'll give them a little something for it.
Are they all in your group?
Parts. Pardon me?
It seems like Chris is in your group. Are these guys all in your group too, in the Ottawa Crawlers group?
Yes. The other guy's in there also, and I've been posting some of his build. He's got a D90 building, and it's a nice blue one, and it's just nice what he's done.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's like Smurf blue. Maybe you could put it on your wrap, your Ottawa Crawl group.
Yeah. I was supposed to meet up with him tonight and actually do a rig review with him. Oh. And I was going to go in our Facebook page and on his Facebook and just download all the pictures he's been taking while he was building it. And I was going to do a video of it and actually put it on my YouTube channel. So that would kind of be cool. But he wasn't there and I could not go either. So either of us went there.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's tough.
So Shrimp a Lot says he doesn't have a cam to go live right now. That's all good.
Yep.
What's going on with the urban crawl? John Martin is saying. Yeah, on the 22nd of this month, we're going meet up downtown at the CTV building, and then we're going to crawl a little bit to the Byward Market, go behind Chateau Laurier, and then come back in front. And we got to check a couple different places to crawl, because where we usually stop underneath the bridge, I heard it was all in construction. So just before the winter, they were doing a lot of construction under that bridge, and some people were telling me it's not finished yet. So we might not be able to go through under the bridge, the path we usually take. So we'll have to see if we can, because I'm actually taking my toy hauler. That's why I had it out last weekend, and I did some tests on it, and I changed my opinion on it because I had a 2080 the gear ratio.
Okay.
But that thing has like a 65 turn, I think, or 75 turn. It's torquey motor, but way too slow. I could walk. When I walked beside it, I had to slow down walking because it wasn't fast enough.
Gotcha.
So I put a 26 now, 2680. Took it for a ride. I drove it for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then I just touched the motor, and that was with a full load at the back. I had two trucks.
Oh, nice.
Well, 2 cars on it, a truck and a car. And the motor was not even warm, so the gearing should be fine, and we should be okay for a couple hours.
Did you make yourself some tie downs for your toy hauler or your rig?
Yeah, I'm going to make some other tie downs similar to the one I've made here, but I'm probably going to do the Velcro, not Velcro, the hair, the one that's stretchy.
Okay. Yep.
So, but yes, they will be tied down.
Cool.
I'm actually thinking of doing one the same way what they call those, car dolly. So there's a car dolly that you just put the front 2 wheels on, and then you can actually pull the car.
Good
so
idea.
I'm thinking of doing the strap down the same way. It's actually a net, kind of a net that just grabs the front wheel.
Okay.
And then you tie on the back of the wheel, and you tie in the front of the wheel and just ratchet down like that. You just tie the wheel to the trailer. It's kind of cool. You don't touch the body, you don't touch the suspension, you don't touch nothing.
Yeah.
So that would be cool to actually make it something similar to that. And like an SCX10, the wheel are all uncovered. It's very easy to do that.
Right. True. Be interesting if you're towing an SCX10, if you could disconnect the back drive shaft or something.
Mm-hmm.
Then the freewheel.
Sir Shrimpalot is building a 6x6. I know I've noticed a couple of different pictures of the group all the time on Facebook. So hope to see that thing finish soon.
I found a couple of scale figures.
Yeah.
Walmart. Walking Dead.
From The Walking Dead. Cool. How much were they about?
$18 a piece. Total with tax and everything, like $40, $41.
Cool. And how tall are they about?
They're 10th scale. I could grab a wrestler for you to compare it to. Or here I got RC
Oh,
four-wheel drive guy who's a little small.
Yeah, those guys, I find them a little small. Cool.
Let's see. I'll pop them out of the package here. I had one already. It's in my Jeep as a driver.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good. But these ones' hands aren't in the proper position, really. Like that one, the Madison character from Fear the Walking Dead, which also came with a fire extinguisher and a hammer. So it was actually a better purchase.
Mm. Steve is asking, how much is a 3D printed engine? The answer to that is, my boss tells me all that all the time, but the answer to that is, it depends. It depends on the print quality. It depends on a lot of things, how much details there is on it, how many little parts, and so on. A good engine would cost you about probably a good $100, I think, 100, 125. I've seen some pretty nice one for 75. But you get some that are really neat. You even get some that you can get and put a little tiny motor on it, and the fan is actually working on it. All the belts and all that are actually all working. So that's a lot of detail. It really gets expensive when you start getting those little tiny details. And I know RC four-wheel drive also has an engine that's actually all aluminum. So, but when the detail on it is not that nice, it looks nice, but the small details don't look that good. Yeah, so Shrimpalot says he did a Walking Dead build. So I guess he had that in his stomper a few years ago.
Ah, nice. Yeah, these
Cool.
characters have been out for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, they have. I haven't seen much of The Walking Dead. Every time I go there, it's always a wrestling figures, and they're half dressed.
Right. See, now the only issue with these guys is the legs are only twistable. The knees aren't posable. So you'd have to do some bending or something if you actually had a 3D interior.
So the legs don't bend at the knees?
Nope, they just twist. Like the ankles twist 90 degrees. Let me get in front of the camera here. You can just twist stuff around.
That
You don't
sucks.
really, yeah. And then the hands sometimes are not in the right positions. This one's supposed to hold a bow and arrow, so the hands are in a terrible position.
Mm.
Elbows bend in the wrong way, you know. So if you use a heat gun, I'm sure you could heat it up and do something with it, but they're semi-interesting.
Mm.
Good accessories too, I guess. A little crossbow. Decent
Those are
detail.
nice.
Yeah. This is a little gory, but skeleton in the head.
Mm. That's going to be very nice when you drive your car and a little tiny kid goes to the car and he sees all those dead parts and dead body parts on the car.
Right. I think maybe I'll drag this behind the car. I have the car here's the car that girl's on. I put wheels on it and everything.
Cool. Let me put you on presenting and I'll look at something on.
There you go.
Cool.
She's in there. Pop the top off.
So that's an SCX 10-1, right?
Yeah, that's the X10-1. Yeah, with the Jeep body and Proline wheels, hot racing aluminum parts and Integy parts, STRC. Trying to think. That's about it for different manufacturers. I haven't bought any Vanquish yet.
Cool. So this is the logo I came up with since last we talked.
Oh, that's nice.
So
that'll explain it to everybody too.
Yeah. So
perfect.
Present to everybody. So basically, I didn't want to put a tank, so military truck, because I don't want people to think my channel is about tank, because my channel is about me being Frank the tank.
Yeah.
So we were talking the other day, and I decided to do this, and it turns out pretty good. So it actually got the FR or Frank, and then the tank on the bottom. It turned out pretty good, I find.
Now, have you talked to any sticker manufacturers? Is it
Not
fairly
yet.
easy to reproduce?
Not yet.
Two color, which is good, right?
Yeah. And I posted a lot of things on my post here this week, actually. The urban crawl that we're going to have on April 22nd. Thanks, Ethan. He's saying it's a nice little logo. I'm not sure I'll stick with that one yet, but that's the one I'm going to have. I also, that's our RC talk for tonight. There's a link for tonight if you guys want to jump in. Internet is slow. I'm streaming. This was very interesting. This guy built a TRX4, and I don't know how long you built, but he built a metal cage around it.
That's nice.
Did a awesome job. I don't know which body he used. I don't think it's it might be the TF2. It's not as, it's pretty narrow.
I'm wondering what he built it. Is it stainless or something? Aluminum?
I don't know which rod. I didn't read anything.
Just painted or? Yeah, it's
from
really
Japan
nice
or whatever, because. But he built it like a honcho. So yeah. There you see all the gears and the fans and so on. But when I saw that today, I go, oh, this is kind of cool.
Definitely.
He did a good job, especially on the metal work.
I wonder if that's a TF2 body, or more than likely it's not a Tamiya. They're too small. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Fits fairly well.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't think he took it out too much. The bumper is not even scratched. There's not a scratch on this thing.
Right. Built it too nice.
And he built a nice little aluminum case at the back for his electronic, I guess.
I think that's from Integy. I have that.
Yeah, it's right there. The logo is there from Boom Racing.
Yep. Oh, Boom Racing. Okay.
This one's Boom Racing.
Gotcha. I have a similar one from Integy. I put in that one.
Okay.
Just because I thought one of my vehicles needed every aluminum part possible.
Ethan is saying Google Striker tank. It's similar to the one on my logo. Yeah, I'll look it up. But lots of time I find neat stuff and I just post it on my tank RC, and I usually don't post any RC stuff on my private personal link, Facebook. But sometime I post it onto our local club. But I find sometime I post a lot, so I don't want to tire everybody with all the posts I do. This is really, the snorkel looks nice.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Oh, it even says Toyota on the side of it, in the snorkel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice.
You got place for battery, but it's a smaller battery. He went with magnet mounts also.
Oh, yeah.
Same electronics, same servos.
Yeah.
And he's got two of them. So they're probably going to be selling these cages, I think.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure they're going to have a lot of questions. And this is another one I did. I saw. Did you guys hear that?
Yep.
Did you hear the audio?
Yep.
Okay, I'll just play it. And
pretty loud.
All right. But he's built speakers on top.
Right, the speaker's as big as the truck.
But you can see the speakers moving.
Oh yeah, the woofers are moving.
So this is really neat because you see the speakers moving and all that, and the bass.
I like the ones in the back of the truck.
Yeah, just like a real truck. So somebody wrote on there, he'd get sick of that on the trail. He wants to hear the birds and the forest. But I told him, no, this would be a truck that you'd leave at the start gate or at registration.
Mm-hmm.
It's more
like
of a
boombox. Yep. Could have a real antenna on it and have a radio even.
Yeah. GPM Racing, he's getting his Bronco ready for the next festival. He's going next week.
Okay.
Freaking guy is always on.
You could always play nature sounds through the speakers too.
Yeah. And these are cool also. This guy, I guess he took a Bluetooth system and actually took the controller board out of it or built his own, I don't know. He's got little 3D printed speakers. And you can put that in your car. So those are very small, as you can see from the wires. And they're just like little from Scale Mob scalers. And he's been selling them. To me, it was a little expensive because I think it's like $95 US. But if you take into account all the work that goes into here and all the stuff, it's not that bad. But me, I'll pass on that for now.
Yeah, the price will come down.
Yeah. But he's been doing some draws for it. So, and this is a new Tamiya TB05 that's coming out. That's kind of a nice car.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey, Troy.
Hey, Troy.
I saw that car the other day on a post. It looks really nice.
Yeah, the TB05.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did I miss?
Oh, do you want to see it rewind?
Sure. Not much. Just chat a little bit about aluminum parts and Frank's logo.
Yeah.
I logged in and saw the logo talk there for a second.
Yeah, I'll get back to that in a second. I do have it in black and white on the little bottom here. And I was going through my pictures and I found this. That's when I went on the beach and I came back with my Stampede and cleaned up the Stampede and another car, and that's how much sand I had on my desk.
How long were you there?
A few hours.
Need to build a
Just
scale sandcastle.
Yeah, it's just that by the time you bring your car and you try to get the dirt off, but it's all mine, it's all wet, so it's kind of a little muddy a little bit, so you can't really get it off. So I brought it in the house right away, but by the next day it all dried off and was just coming off of it. It was funny. Then my son was having fun last summer. Posted the urban crawl again. A video. Oh, this is really neat. This Chinese guy on his center dry shaft put a square piece. And this is really cool in the sense that this kind of toothpaste, or I don't know what it is, it's a plastic. So when it turns, it makes for real audio sound. It was really cool. Let's start that over again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Good idea.
And it looks like he's got another small piece of plastic there or something to help it so it doesn't. That's really cool.
The tube's a resonance chamber.
Yep.
That's cool.
So that's on my the Tank RC. And then I did the Tamiya foam during the week. I was building some foam RC. Oh, there's the. What do you think? I'm not a graphic artist, but this is what I came up with. So basically, this is the.
I like the all black one too. That's cool.
Yeah. The tank.
I don't know why it's all the way over there, but anyways. Yeah, the other one, the red one, I have my Sebastian's car here, which is La Ferrari, right over the. So that's what I came up with so far. I might change it, or I might do it like a badge. I want to make it so we can print it very small. So I have to do some tests and see if I print it to put it on a car, how much detail am I going to lose out of the tank and the Jeep that's there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple. Yeah.
Or the APC you got there, you'll lose a lot of detail out of that because it's got so much detail just in the wheels alone, right? You got 4 of them showing.
Yep.
Yeah, you might have to go like more of an outline.
And that's Chris's event last week. Like this Jeep won a lot of prizes. I think he won like 8 prizes. And there's so much nice detail in this Bronco.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. He won best interior, best engine, best scale. I think it shows. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah,
See more. Trying to zoom in for you guys. Hold on. Come on, you little swine.
that's cool.
Yeah. So like he won a lot of different stuff on there. So it was so cool. Gotta go over the pictures real quick.
Even has hubcaps.
Yeah, even the detail on the hubcaps.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nice and clean. The bumper, like it's really neat. Here's the engine bay.
Oh man,
I kind of remember looking at that engine bay in some video or something.
That's the interior, all the stuff on the interior. The seat is even a little bit dirty.
I like how low the floor is in the back.
Yeah. Yep. So if you guys want to see it, I'm not gonna go through all the things here.
Guy definitely practices wet sanding, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. And I had some. I opened up a package, which was the Roadhog recovery ropes.
Yeah, those look real
Like
nice.
a tree saver.
Yeah, with the tree saver. Yeah. Then I saw this truck. That's 6x6. That one was kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
He's got low torque on that, but he's got so much weight at the front. When he's trying to turn here, he can't. He's trying to position himself, but there's so much weight that he's got no traction on the steering part.
Yeah, I could use a couple turning wheels instead of just 2. F4 or something. 8x8.
Yeah, an 8x8 would have turned better, but that's 6x6. He's got a lot of flex there on that suspension in the back. Like when the wheels went down, it really went on an angle.
Mm-hmm.
So
Turning radius isn't that bad. That's pretty,
yeah.
scale for that kind of Russian.
But see, he's trying to turn right now, but he's going straight. He's got no turning. So it's really, it was a nice truck. So then there's the video I made for the tree saver and all that. So there's a guy playing with some stuff. Anyways, not going to bore you too much on that. And then there's Vanquish. All their new stuff and their curried axle. Anybody seen their new curry axle that are portals?
Yeah, I was gonna say those are sharp.
$199 for the rear, $299 for the front.
Right.
Yeah,
Go to the bank and get a loan.
$299 for the front. But when you really
is that at least all built?
Yes, all built, all the parts that you need. Good. So when you really think about it, I find that Vanquish in the last year has really went down in price, which is very good. But I guess they don't have a choice.
Tank, I went and after I saw the 4-hour video.
Yep.
I went and I looked on the site and I priced out all the different parts that I could identify. It's about $50 cheaper to buy the axles just like that.
Oh yeah, definitely, because when I saw that, like for that price, I go wow, because I know for a fact when you buy the axle and then you buy the bearings and by the time you buy everything, that is not a bad price.
And it's got the gear reduction built in.
Yes.
You can put you can order it with the overdrive in the front as well if you wanted to.
Yes, true. But one thing I find, like this is what like we're talking about at the beginning and why this video is about. If I buy an SCX-10 2, because this is for the SCX-10 2, here's the rear, $199, $299. So I'm at $500. That's on top of what I paid for the truck. So the question is, do I really need it? And how much benefit is it going to give me? And why? If it's just for the cool factor, it's expensive. But if you're going to compete and go on rocks and compete with your truck and actually try to win, yeah, it's worth it. But it comes at a price.
You also have to set up you have to rework your rig too.
Right.
Yep.
New links and.
Why don't you explain what you mean by rework your rig?
Okay, like my rig is set up to go like low, but I like it to ride like this. But if I have, and my balance is 50-50 right now, and if I put my those portals on, it's
Yep.
gonna raise my balance up again. So where I wasn't tipping before, I would be after putting those on. So you'd have to rebalance out your rig and make some adjustments. Might even have to go with different shocks, because if you just throw those onto a stock rig, like say you had just the new Jeep one from Axial, or
Yep.
even the honcho. Say you just took it and threw it on the honcho. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you would have to tune it so it would react the way you want it to. Just throwing those on, yes, it's going to give you a lot more clearance, but it's going to make it more top heavy, and it's going to change the characteristics of the way it was riding before. So either you're going to have to learn how to drive it without adjusting it, or you could adjust it and get the best out of your rig. But I mean, if you're going to spend $500 on top of your rig, I would set it up the best way you could.
Okay.
Is that what you meant, Tank?
Yes. And I just noticed that two of my cameras just froze for some odd reason. That's just strange. So let me fix this.
Too many cameras, and the rest of us have to deal with just one, right, Keegan?
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, we got to turn them on and off to change angles.
I know. I have to pick it up and move it.
Well, that's why I'm trying with the software to be more more creative and change angles for you guys and do a bunch of different stuff. So, but for some odd reason, and that's why I might have to try. I thought it was my other computer that wasn't quick enough, or because it does render 3 cameras. But for some odd reason, both 3 of them are actually frozen right now. So if you can see here, this one's frozen there, and this one is also frozen.
They captured your good side, and they're just gonna stick with those for now, Tank.
Probably.
You broke the camera.
You broke 2 of them.
Yeah.
One's working now.
Yeah, the website's still working, so I'll just switch this camera over on this side so I can see you guys.
Like if I put those on my truck, right now I'm running the stock axial shocks. If I got those, I would seriously taking the 90 mils off and putting on a set of 80s. That could be all you need to do to lower your balance again, and you're not going to lose that much flex with the amount of gain you're going to get from that riding.
Yeah, that's true. Because you guys gotta think about when you're doing your axles. If this is your axle shaft, and you would take the bottle instead. That's weird. The camera seems to be out of focus. Focus, you guy. Wow. If this is your axle, normal axle, your links are actually mounted there. And if you actually look at the picture of where these links are, come on, buddy, where your links are actually mounted, that point does not change. They're still at the same point. Your wheels will be lower, therefore this is going to be higher. That means, just like Troy was saying, your rig is actually going to be higher off the ground. That raises your center of gravity. Yes, your axle are heavier, it might help you, but it will change the dynamic of the look of your truck. So you will have more space on your wheel wells. So if you want the same look, you got to bring the truck back down, but you're still going to have the clearance. So there is work to do on your truck. either on the suspension or on the linkage. There is some ways for you to do the work on the truck, but that's with any competition truck. It's never over. You're always modifying it.
Right. Like if I had that axle and I had a truck that rode like that all the time with my links on a steep angle, then just by getting those, that would move my links to a more flat position.
Yes.
So that would actually help. But where I ride mine low, I would have to readjust to do that again. Maybe even shorten them up a little bit because you're a little bit.
It also help flatten out the drive shafts too.
Yeah, less binding.
But that all depends also, because you like having your truck or that wheel well filled up. Some guys don't give a, sorry for language, crap. They like putting 2.2s. They like the biggest tire. They like to have the biggest plus or the biggest help they can get on the trail.
Yeah. Well, I have a set of these that I got on these rims actually. I wanted these rims off a friend.
Cool.
But they came with this tire. Now, if I pulled that tire next to that, I mean, it just didn't look right at all. I mean, that is massive. It doesn't fit in the wheel well, no matter how much I cut out. So, that's a great wheel. I like the tread pattern, but it's too big. I want it, I know getting bigger tires kind of, will help you. But a lot of the times, you look at those old Willys Jeeps.
Yep.
All those trailing videos. Not an RC. I'm talking about the real thing. You'll see that tiny little thing with 8 inches of clearance and those tiny little tires.
Skinny too, eh?
Skinny tires. And that thing will just go where stock Jeeps from today can't go. And the thing just trucks through it like it's nothing. So it's not always about how big your tire is.
Well, I've seen a lot of old videos of like a Model T and all those older trucks, but I've seen them, the videos and the movies or whatever on YouTube, and not even on YouTube, on Facebook. They were going through mud like it was nothing. It was really cool to see them go, and they had very skinny tires, like almost like a bicycle tire, and they were just going through the mud and just having fun. What was that?
Wooden rims often.
Yep.
Yeah.
With spokes.
They had to go. They went and designed like that, and they had no choice but to go through the muck like that, because at the time it was still buggies mostly and horses. So there wasn't a nice paved or even a compacted dirt trail. As soon as it got a little wet, you got horses kicking up the mud. It's loose and it's sticky.
Yeah.
Like
Grant's RC saying it back home, everybody's jacks up their cars and put the biggest tire they can on their cars. With big motors.
Yeah, right.
Hell, that's what we do with our RCs also. Well, some people do.
Lift kit and the stereo. First upgrades.
In their $500 beater.
Yeah, right. Tires cost more than the car.
Yep. I've been driving a lot more with past week here, and I installed that overdrive into this where it was so much longer. I didn't think I was going to see a very big noticeable difference, but a friend of mine came over and he had his honcho, and he drove it, and he did a tight circle. I'm like, oh, you frigger, you're just showing off now because your wheels are so close together. I cut the wheel and I turned on his tracks. That overdrive is awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's nice.
I had friends saying that, oh, well, I'm not sure if you're going to even like it, but just the turning and then trailing around, man, there's places I couldn't believe how easily it just pulled itself up because it wasn't pushing from the rear. And just losing traction in the front. Man, I'm a big fan. I must have put
The overdrive really helps. Yes.
yeah, I put like 8 hours in one day just goofing around with it. So
Yeah, on my SCX10, I'm still running the same axle. I went with the overdrive in the front. I got beefy tubes in the front. And what else? Oh, I changed the knuckles now. That was last summer. They're now the
brass ones.
yeah, and they're 8 degrees, and they're very turning radius on my SCX10, on the SCX10-1. And everybody's asking me, when are you going to get an SCX10-2 or a TRX4? I don't need it. I have plenty of other crawlers. Maybe when my SCX10 dies or whatever, or if I get a good deal on one, I might get one.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go out and buy a new one.
Right.
I'll wait.
I'm sure you're on enough pages too for sale sites too, where you can find used SCX10-2s and get a really good deal on it.
Oh yeah, like there's even some guys that are selling some SCX10-2s. But I find so many people put upgrades on it. Like a guy was saying, I got over $800 on it, so I'm asking $500. Well, that's almost the price of a new one. So I'd rather buy a new one because some upgrades he's got on his I don't want. So you got to be careful of how you upgrade them, and if it's for a comp or for whatever, sometimes you can't get your money back from it.
Well, when it comes to stuff like that, I agree with you, Tank. I'd rather buy completely new and know exactly what gets put into that rig, as opposed to buying someone else's project and problems. You know, it might have some cool bells and whistles, but
to me, when you build something like this, if you take apart the old part, if you're thinking of reselling your rig, keep all the old parts you're taking off, and when it's time to sell your rig, put the old stuff back on the rig and sell it, and then you can sell the hot pops on the side. You'll make more money. It might take you a little longer to sell it, but you'll make more money back from it by selling the hot pops.
yeah, and you'll get a quicker sale selling your rig as a stock rig.
Yeah.
And than you would from someone wanting too much for what they think it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
It's also hard too, you know, you're trying to buy stuff from other people. You know what price cost now, and they're a lot cheaper than what they were a year ago even. So someone says, oh, well, I spent this, and here's all the receipts. And it's like, yeah, man, but I can get the exact same stuff today for $180 cheaper than what you're charging. And that would be in the bag, brand new.
Yeah.
So,
cool. Troy, Ethan is saying, I don't know if you read the chat, but Ethan is saying that last time you talked, you were there and you talked about building a winch, and he built it, and he built his own winch with some stuff he had, and he actually started to use it and he really enjoys it. So
awesome. Yeah, I don't see the chat on my screen.
Okay, no, you have to look at the live video, which is on YouTube, which is actually kind of weird on the phone or whatever to watch that because you're on the delay. So
yeah, I'm on my computer though. So
okay, yeah, I have two windows open. I have the live chat a little smaller, and under it I have the delayed video, but on the side I have the chat, so it permits me to see the chat and the live video at the same time.
okay.
Yeah, I'm on a tiny little iPhone screen, so it looks like I'm blind trying to see the screen, but it's just tiny.
Yeah, I see that sometimes you go forward and look into the phone.
Yeah.
So what are you working on, Keegan? Anything cool?
Just putting a body together. Trying to decide whether to put a honcho bed into a C10 Chevy Proline body or the SR5 Toyota Proline body. Merge them together a little bit, cut the bed apart and stick that into it, and have side fenders onto it.
What's it look like with the Toyota on it?
I haven't put the bodies together yet. I got to cut those out and everything.
Me last weekend, I started working on my Mercedes-Benz body, and this is how far I got on taping it. So just one side of it, I started taping and actually cutting. So I cut this one, and I cut the back. This is where it's going to be painted, but right now that's the only part that's taped up for here. And then it's going to be cut out, and you can't really tell right now, but it's actually, oh yeah, you see Tonka through it.
Yep.
Oh, okay, I see it when your hand was behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I just got to cut that out. But I got discouraged after looking at the weather. Like it was like minus 14 outside through all the weekend, and even this weekend again, it's going to be we're looking at 20 centimeters of snow. So like this is crazy, 10 to 20 centimeters of snow.
Just go to like a Burger King or something and go in the bathroom and paint it real quick and
That's
dry
like
it under the hand dryer and run out.
5 to 10 inch of snow this weekend.
Where do you paint, Tank?
Ottawa, Ontario.
No, where do you do your painting?
Oh, right now outside on the deck.
Outside on the deck.
I do have a shed, but it's far from the house. I got a long way. But when it's too cold outside, I'd rather not go there and paint. It has to be a certain temperature anyways.
And are you using rattle cans?
Yeah, I use the little Tamiya cans.
Okay. Have you seen, or have you ever thought about building yourself a downdraft table?
I've seen some, but I don't do enough painting for that.
You get a little piece of ducting, or even you could make the channels yourself out of foam board. You can get a little TV tray, and you can mask it off with walls, and then in the back of it you have it opened up. You put a screen there. You also can take one of those screens from your heater
Okay.
for your house, and then you have a huge fan attached to that, and that fan exits out your house. You can just have it just a hose that goes out to your window. So you can spray in the house when it's nice and warm. You spray, and then you shut it down. You just have the little bit of a hose going outside, and you have the rest of your window there, so it's not losing a lot of heat. And then you can close you can cover the paint booth when you're done. That way it's not sucking heat through, but it's evacuating all the fumes.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can have a dehumidifier or something like that in the same room where you're doing it. So I've hooked up a system like that here, and my wife does not smell anything anymore. And cool. I use fine airbrushing. So I was doing all kinds of misting around here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just hooking up one of those little air filtration systems and running the vent outside,
Now, do you have any sort of filter on it that catches any of the paint, or does it just stick to the pipe on the way out? Pretty much. It's not on the outside of your house or anything.
No, it's not on the outside of the house because it's getting sucked through that filter.
Right, I got you.
Yeah, and every once in a while I'll take the filter out and I'll go in.
I see. You're talking like a furnace filter.
Yeah.
I understand. Gotcha. I didn't understand what type of heater you meant.
Oh, right.
I thought you meant like a grill or something.
Yeah, well, even if you take a piece of like that foam that you can actually spray through,
yep,
that will work. You don't even need to have that if you don't want to, because if you're spraying the air particles and the paint, it's going to dry before it gets all the way through the pipe.
Right.
Just because of how it's moving through with all the air.
Gotcha.
So, and I mix all my paint. I reduce it with alcohol, so
okay,
I can hold my brush this far away from my hand and spray it, and I'll just have like paint dust. Doesn't stick. 'cause it dries
Yeah,
too quick.
that's what Chris does also with he's got his booth or little corner on the top of a shelf, and
I've
he's
seen
got
it.
a pipe going out, and he just sprays, and it's really neat how he's got it set up. Also, it's basically almost the same thing you got. So
Yeah, he said he's put a fan in line
Yeah.
or something.
yeah,
Yeah, I got two things that run here: my compressor and a old exhaust fan.
So I have an airbrushing compressor I haven't started using yet, but I'm getting ready to.
Oh,
A Badger
yeah. If you have any, if you want any
Anthem.
other hints, just give me a shout, man.
Nice.
Hmm.
Nice.
And Tank, you said who was it that was doing the who made the servo into a winch?
Ethan,
Ethan.
Ethan. Okay.
the younger guy there.
Yeah. Right. I want to. He's still watching.
I don't know. He hasn't chatted. Ethan, you're still there? Gonna take a minute, or not a minute, but maybe 30 seconds by the time he hears this.
Okay.
But
Well,
Sir Shrimpalot sold his GCM JK, which I believe it was a Cross Canyon, and he's also his TF2 is spoken for. He
Wow.
had those two for many years, and had one turned into a tow truck, and he's cleaning house and changing trucks now. So seems to be a trend. Once you've had it for 2-3 years, sell it off.
I've had offers on mine. I'm not doing it. I can't. I'm waiting for the 27th, which is the day after my birthday.
And what are you gonna buy yourself?
The
Marlin Crawler.
Marlin Crawl. There you go, Keegan.
Ah.
Yeah, he knows.
Yep.
And tonight, because somebody mentioned last week that I'm always wearing a golf shirt and it's always blue, I decided to wear a t-shirt tonight and have it gray. So it's completely different color tonight.
I was wondering from your preview, you had the t-shirt on. I was like, oh, I wonder if he did that because he said that the other day.
And I did.
Funny.
I did.
Yeah, that's funny.
Because I get my clothes for free from distributors or at work. Not
Sure.
all my clothes, but my shirts.
Yep.
So it's a work shirt. So by the time I get here at night, I have supper. I don't change my shirt. I come down here and I start working. So the work I do, I don't sweat. It's not like construction or whatever. I'm sitting at the desk all day. So
Why dirty another shirt?
yeah.
My kid got me this one.
Bud.
Darth
Tater.
Tater.
Yeah, Ethan just said he's present, and he says also my winch was based off of part of an old RC four-wheel drive Bulldog winch, which winch, not a servo.
Okay. I would like to see a video of that if you could link that up or
I think on the last RC talk, he did show it off a lot. So if you really scroll through it, you might be able to find it.
oh
Yeah, he showed it. It was a bare aluminum chassis with the RC four-wheel drive motor mounted to the edge
Yeah.
of it, to the side
And
of
I
it.
think Ethan has his own little website, and I think he made a video of it. Let me try see if I can't find the info on that. Go to channel.
Yeah, the Bulldog motor he put into the side of it.
Yeah, he does. So I'll send you a link for this.
cool. I will add him to I'll subscribe. Hit that bell. Oh,
Share.
Tank, I hope you've been noticing, but I've been doing a lot of work for you lately.
For me?
Yes. Every time I go to work, I've been putting my computer on YouTube and hitting Tank Play All.
Cool. Merci beaucoup, monsieur. So on the chat of this video on the Hangout, I did put a link of his YouTube and his YouTube video, so you should be able to see that.
Okay, I just saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, that worked good when Chris put that picture up. I looked at it afterwards. think it was a Marlin crawler picture.
It's
So he's
amazing.
actually got a CNC machine going through it and actually cutting all this stuff. So he probably did that at school. Part of the work at school.
I've been debating taking apart a high-tech servo and making one.
Cool.
People be nice and strong.
So I got 640 ounces. So it should be a really good winch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's my backup in case my steering goes.
I gotta get off my ass and put a winch on my the Beast 2. I gotta put a winch on that. So prepare it for the summer.
I think.
Pardon me?
When are you getting your hot rod back?
I don't know. It's been gone for well over a year now. So I hope I didn't lose it. But Dave is supposed to be watching right now. No, well, he's moving now to a new place, and he finished a build. He's finishing my hot rod and another build he's doing at the same time. But he promised me that he is not going to start another build until he finishes off the hot rod. So my rat rod.
Hopefully it
So
doesn't get lost in the move.
yeah.
Fall off a truck.
Then I'm going to take
Cappy's truck.
Then I'm going to take my other one here apart, and I'll just make another one. I actually thought about it, actually. Especially with today with the 3D printed part and no one knowing what I know now, I should build another one and just call it Knight Rider 2 or Rat Rod 2.
Mm-hmm.
Be cool.
They build it better, faster.
Stronger.
Like the offspring of the $6 million man.
A lot of people that are probably watching don't know what the $6 million man is.
Yeah, $6 million. That's not a lot.
No, nowadays it'd be worth
Steve
more.
something. Steve something, wasn't it?
Steve Austin.
Steve Austin, yeah.
Somebody had on Facebook a message about that, saying that if they build the $6 million man now, how much he would be worth. Like, it's a heck of a lot more.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tony Stark would be like looking for pocket change to finish it off.
Yeah.
Stuff isn't cheap, but oh well. Gas is almost $2 a liter now, so.
Yeah. Yeah, and earlier I was talking about NIM batteries and NiCad batteries, because I actually, when I charged this battery, I started charging this battery, and I had it on NIM, nickel metal hydride. I can't even say that friggin' name. NIMH. So this is an so I had the same setting on that one. I hit start. Then I realized, I go, wait a minute. So I looked on it, and it's actually written NI-CD. So this is NiCad. So I just went on my charger and actually changed the setting. So
did you wreck the battery?
No, I didn't wreck it. It just like was a fraction of a second. When I realized, I go, wait a minute, I better check that. So I don't know if it could. I don't know, but it charged it up. But that yellow one was in my tank. I do have a 1/18th. I think it's 1/18th, but it's an airsoft tank, so it shoots and everything. So I brought it at work today because I was going to go to the event this afternoon every second Thursday of the month. We all get together, but I ended up, I had to come back here. My wife had to work late, so I couldn't go. So I started crying a little bit. Then I wiped my tears, and then I said, okay, life goes on. And then I came here and I didn't go play with my friends.
But you were curled up in the fetal position in the basement, still sobbing, right?
Yeah, that's why I was late for 5 minutes before I started, because I would had to take myself back up, pick myself off the ground, and say, come on, life goes on.
Start thinking this happens regularly.
Go and rehydrate.
last weekend we had a little event with the Reno boys down here, and that was kind of cool. First off, we had a little obstacle course, and then it went into the woods on a nice little trail run. There's a lot of guys there and a couple of girls. It was a great little trip. Kids, it was quite fun. Everything from like giant friggin' slashes and like bashers to scale rigs. And I won a little ribbon here
Cool.
for the most scale rig, which I wasn't expecting because my back hurt too much for me to go and do the obstacle course in the mud.
Now, who organized that?
That would be Reno Boys. So
Joey. Oh, it was Reno Boys RC.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know you knew him. Oh, sorry, I didn't know you knew him.
I've seen other videos.
He lives about an hour and 40 minutes away from me.
Okay, because he used to be here in Ottawa, and he's the one that started RC Ottawa with a buddy here in Ottawa. And he's the one that always did the urban crawl and always organized it. And ever since he's been gone, nobody is taking the initiative to actually start one. So I did one last year, and then I'm doing again one this year. But nobody's posting, nobody's doing urban crawl or saying, okay, let's do this. I guess people are afraid they're going to get, people are not going to come or whatever. It's not that I don't care. I do care. I get hurt if people don't come personally, saying, oh shit, is it because of me, or what did I do wrong? But I don't let that affect me. I organize it. I say, if they come, they come. If they don't, well, I'm going to have fun with the people that actually comes.
Right. That's what it's about.
Yeah. You meet new friends, you meet new people. So that's what I said. And I had a couple of people that were threw in some dates. It says, I'm available for these dates. So I just picked up my computer, went on Facebook, and poof, organize it, put it on there, and people are slowly coming and saying, yes, they'll come. So if we're 10 people, great.
Well,
if we're more, better.
He doesn't really want to be the manager of the group, but he started a little group down here, Southwest Crawlers, and on the first Saturday of every month, we have a meeting at one of the members' places, Kent, and that's where they hosted the event last weekend, and it was quite fun. I had a friend of mine come down from Halifax, so he drove an hour and 40 minutes to get to my place, and then we went from here further deep into the valley to go to the event. So we showed up fashionably late, but it was great. They were drifting in a garage because it was a little bit of snow, and by the time we got there, weather warmed up, no more snow. But I really like that whole going out, even for, doesn't matter if you're going to win prizes or, you're going to have like a show and shine or anything. I just enjoyed going out and sharing and driving behind people and joking and, tromping through the woods,
I took an RC down to my buddy's house last weekend and let him run it around, and his brother, and with them trying to get a couple more people addicted.
Did you bring another rig for you to drive as well?
Yeah, I brought two little 18th scale at Traxxas.
Okay.
A Teton and an SST. We were running them up and down the road and around in the garage, and then I took the hose to him and washed them off. He had quite a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's addictive.
I have one that I put foam bumpers on. That's my training car for other people to drive.
What is this big purple car you have here? Why is it completely surrounded with pool noodles? What is this scale of?
What does student driver mean?
Oh man,
he had some issues with throttle control, but he got it after a while.
Well, yeah, you gotta. It's just like driving any new vehicle is completely different.
Yeah.
To you. I drove my first TRX4 at the event. I drove my very first the red Jeep from Axial.
Yep.
I drove that for the first time. I like the little pigtail plugs so you can turn your lights on.
Yep.
The Axial really impressed me. It was quiet. It just rolled over everything, and it was super, super smooth.
It's really light too.
Oh, I picked it up and was like, okay, here, hold mine.
Yeah.
I was really impressed. Yes, I
Yep.
drove that.
All right, this is my only I left this one all stock, and the Honcho's all stock. We'll see how they drive.
You gonna take that in the dirt?
Yep, this summer, dirt and the rocks. Yep.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, tell Joey from Renault Boys RC, his name is Joey Bright. Tell him I say hi.
I will. I'll even squeeze his tires for you.
Squeeze his tires.
You seen the video where Chris and they're talking about scale, and they're talking about um, the rules and checking your rigs for points and everything like that, and
Storker. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they're talking about how to score your rig up. And they're saying, yeah, one event we had this guy, he showed up, and we told him he had to have a scale driver, and he gets there, and he's got a little Lego guy attached to the wheel, and Joey said, yeah. That's me. I'm like, oh man, that's just too funny. Here I watch this video about what these guys are doing in Quebec, and now you live like a stone throws away from me. And so the next week, I sent a message to Chris, and he says, "Oh yeah, when they see him next, go squeeze his tires." I'm like, "Oh Jesus, what's going on?" It's
Yeah.
funny, you know. It's just doesn't matter where you go. If you're a good time guy and you're having fun, that just kind of spreads no matter where you go.
Cool.
So, good people
Right.
to have in the hobby.
Smiles are contagious.
So are limericks.
True.
Yeah, you're talking about playing or picking a playlist of the video and letting play all day or whatever. It's fun to do that. I actually do that at my work also. Sometime I got somebody's channel and I open it and I play the thing, play the video. Sometime I go quickly through it, but then I play it from the start again and just listen to the audio or listen to it, or I do the playlist. But like 2 weeks ago, actually it was last month, I had Windows Explorer, Firefox, and Chrome playing my playlist for about, I think it was all week. I started on Monday. I hit play on both, left my computer on at night at work. Next morning I came up, I looked at the video. They were still playing the playlist, and I put on the loop. So all week I was playing with 3 different web browser, playing in HD and just playing the videos and in a loop. So I don't know how many views I got, but hopefully I got a lot on that one.
Yeah, right. That's cool.
So Keegan, when are you getting your Marlin?
I don't know yet. Supposedly when we ordered it, it was available at the end of April, but now it's saying the end of May or something.
Really?
Yeah,
Is
for
it
Horizon.
Local store or Horizon?
Horizon Hobby, through a local store though.
Oh, okay.
I went and checked out the Marlin Crawler site.
Yep.
They don't have any anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're all out. So even if you beg and plead with the Marlin crawler, you're not getting one. Is this like, I haven't been into the game too long, but you know, this being my second season coming up, but when a new rig comes out, is it, you know, quite likely like this? Like,
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
selling out all the time?
Yes.
I waited 3 or 4 months for the CRC red Jeep, and about the same for the Honcho.
If as soon as you hear something that comes out, if you're really interested and you have the cash for it, put a deposit on it and tell your hobby store to order it right away. Just like I did with my Hoonigan, I knew it was coming out and it's going to be out in Canada soon. So I went to my local hobby store here in Ottawa and I said, "Okay, order it." He goes, "Because I want to get it," and he goes, "Yeah, but you know that the States are going to get it before we do." I go, "I don't care. I want to buy it Canadian. I want to buy it from you." So I ordered it, and as soon as he got it, and I was one of the first one to get here. I don't know if I was the first in Canada, but pretty darn close.
Mhm.
But I got it. I got it on my shelf, and then I started playing with it. But because I wanted it, I went there and I said, "Order it."
Which
Oh.
one?
Hey,
Unicorn.
What?
the Hoonicorn, the
HPI.
HPI Hoonicorn, the drifter car.
Oh, okay. The one you're racing around on the snow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Usually I'll see a YouTube video, then I'll order it. So that's why it's usually so badly back ordered. I don't see it like as an upcoming RC.
Mm-hmm.
Get a pre-order.
This is the thing that surprised me about the Marlin crawler, though. It's like that's been out for a while now, and it's been sold out multiple times.
I think it's a lot for the money. So
Maybe, but it's a limited batch. They probably did a limited batch to see how it would go. And they noticed that there is a demand, so they made a second batch, another batch to actually meet the demand, and now they're just trying to catch up.
Yeah, it's for what you're getting. It's like all the upgrades. That's like, and it's not that much more expensive than a RTR Trailfinder 2.
True.
So, I mean, to me, it's like, oh, if you've never had a TF2, get the crawler because it comes with so many upgrades already.
Yeah, I'm glad. Frank showed it to me on one of the videos. I had seen it previously, but I was thinking of a Galant or something, possibly a D90.
Right.
But yeah, I like the idea of the 4-link, not being 4-link, I should say, but leaf spring.
Yeah.
Having my first leaf spring truck to drive will be interesting.
Yeah. Now, I heard something from someone. He has a really cool scale garage, and he builds rat rods. That's all I'm going to say. And he said that he heard that there might be a new body coming out for the Trailfinder 2 soon.
Oh.
So,
cool.
I haven't heard or seen any whispers about it since, but I've been keeping my ears down, like looking around, trying to find anything I can on it. And don't know how he heard, but if it's true, it's going to be cool. But, you know, he likes Trailfinders, RC 4-wheel drive.
Cool. But I've seen, I have the original Trailfinder 2. The new Trailfinder 2 kit is nice. The long wheelbase is really neat. I have the normal wheelbase, not the narrow. I've seen the Ready to Run, and I've seen the Marlin. If I were to pick between the three, I would take the kit myself.
The long wheelbase kit?
Not the long, just normal wheelbase, same as the Ready to Run kit.
Does it have certain hop-ups that come with it, like an Axial, just for
Nope.
being a kit?
Well, being the kit, yeah, you got all the metal. The only benefit I see that it has that the other ones don't is the 2-speed transmission.
Okay.
The Ready to Run does not have it. And I looked at some of the gearing and some of the stuff on the web. and we were talking about that on the last RC talk. The Marlin crawler and the ready to run kit is the high gear of the TF2, like my TF2.
Okay.
But I love having this 2 gears on mine. Some people that have it, they also say the same thing. They say they sorry, they love it that they have it and they use it. But the people that don't have it don't miss it. Just like me on my SCX10, I don't miss it because it's geared differently, but it's a different truck. If I trail with my TF2, I always have it on high gear. As soon as I get to the rocks, I put it on low gear. And let me tell you, on low gear, it's a complete different beast. It's really neat how it handles.
So the gearing for the Marlin being a single speed is not the same as the TF2 2-speed.
What do you mean? It's the gearing. I heard the gearing on it, on the Marlin and the ready to run kit, only have 1 gear.
Yeah.
Is the same thing as the 2nd gear on the TF2. So you don't get the low gear, but it's the same thing as the 2nd gear.
Oh. Okay. I'd rather it be the 1st gear.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm not. My knees don't want me to run. So.
Well, I know my bomber came with the high speed installed in the kit version. I had the high speed only, and you can upgrade it to a multi-speed. It comes with the transmission for it, but it's just set up for the high speed from the factory.
Yeah.
Well, Tank, there you go. Can you find out if you can actually put
low speed gears,
the lower gear ratio into that R1 transmission or whatever it is? I can't remember the name of it.
I don't think you can, because that low gear is very low on a TF2.
different size.
It's like, if I don't know if I can take it out and actually show you.
No, it's okay.
Because I got to take the body, put the battery in it, and then actually show you the how much gearing difference there is. It's just stupid. It's very slow.
I've seen TRX4 videos. It's pretty noticeable.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you see it barely make it over a speed bump on 1st gear, and then in high gear it jumps it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's almost the same thing. Yeah. And that's why in a SCX10 you have a 35 turn, or you go with a 45 turn if you really want to torque. On the TF2, I have a 35 turn and it's friggin' fast. And when I put it on a low gear, it's almost like having an 85 turn. It's just stupid torque.
Gotcha.
So I was looking at a new motor, and I was thinking about getting the Crawlmaster from
Home's Hobby.
Home's Hobby.
Yeah.
It's 5 lobes and it's 13 turns.
Those are good motors.
Should be nice and fast.
No, it's slow.
Yeah, because of the number of poles.
Yeah, it has 5 poles, not 3.
Oh, okay, it's 5 pole.
Yeah. So it's not the same. It's,
Yeah.
it's
be really smooth.
Should be nice and smooth, yeah.
But yeah, when I heard 13 pole, I'm like, no, I don't want my truck to go like Mach 6 and rip up. And no, I just got it set up so where I can do a full speed turn in the dirt and not roll.
Yeah.
I don't want to double the speed. But then Home's Hobby got back to me and he said, yeah, no, you want the 13 pole. It's got 5 of them in there, so it's really smooth and really low geared.
No, that's
Ethan is putting up some specs there on the 1st gear on the R3 2-speed is 3.47 to 1. So I don't know what the other ones are. But I know I was talking about it the other day. I guess I could pull it up also.
Yeah.
But a lot of people run 3S on their truck, and that's what Bill Biden is saying is 3S in a ready-to-run long wheelbase is pretty fast. And I would say yes, it would be pretty fast on 3S.
Mm-hmm. With a large C rating.
Yeah.
I run 3S and 25C. I don't go fast. I just throttle control, and I like it slow.
I picked up some 2S batteries. They're 25C. I haven't tried them out yet, but hopefully that'll be adequate. 5,000 milliamp.
This is my 22 or my 2700.
Oh, yep.
25 pole or
Cool.
25C.
Yep.
Wicked battery. Same size as my old 2200s. Like exactly the same physical size.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. So Ethan's saying first gear is 3.47 to 1. Second gear is 1.27 to 1.
Okay, thanks, Ethan.
So that's like 3 times slower.
Wow.
Big friggin' difference. And he says the single speed in a probably the ready to run is 1.78. So on the 2-speed, it is faster. So it's about midpoint, I guess, on the ready to run kit.
Okay, that makes sense.
So a lot more throttle control to make it go slower.
Yeah. Now the Ethan is asking, are the T-case ratio different in a kit and a ready to run? As far as I know, there is no ratio difference in both kit. They both use the same transfer case. And the T-case gives you a ratio again of 1.47 in the ready to run. But I think the T-case, I'm pretty sure they're both exactly the same T-case.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the T-case in both. The shell looks the same. I don't think they changed the gear inside. Sir Shrimpalot is saying, no, you can't get a one-to-one case put in. Yes, you can get one put in, but we're talking about what comes with the kit and they're ready to run.
Right. Wow, 1-to-1, that'd be something to see.
You've watched the Marlin Crawler video, right? Where he was walking beside the truck.
Yeah.
Pops out. I think it's his wife's yelling at him to get back in.
Yep. Marlin, what? I knew about Marlin before I got back into the RC. I've seen all the videos. That transfer case, the transmission, just insane what that thing can do.
It's like 10,000 to 1 or something. I forget. Some ungodly amount.
Oh, it's absolutely nuts. 111 to 1 or 110 to 1 in 11th gear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Your engine is he tunes it down too. He tunes his engine down so it idles even slower.
Sir Shrimpalot says he's got a GCM. His TF2 has a GCM transfer case, which is 1-to-1, and he's got a 3,000 kV motor in there.
Holy crap! Does it go through a lot of lubrication oil?
I don't know.
Is it censored? That would help for lower speed without
I
cogging.
think it is censored. I think it is.
That's a big help in a crawler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've seen on videos anyway.
I haven't seen a censored brushless motor that's as smooth as the motor I want to get.
Okay.
So that's why I'm not going to spend $300 on a censored system and ESC, but rather spend $98 on the 5-pole.
So it is a rebuildable.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And you can send it to them to rebuild it.
Right. That's awesome.
Sir Chipolot says he's only got a 2-cell in this truck and it weighs 12 pounds.
Yeah, mine's probably close to that. but I got beef tubes and brass wheel weights and all aluminum parts.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy, yeah. Then I line the body with that mastic tape and.
Okay, look underneath mine, and it's still pretty stock.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Like, I've painted the red parts, but that's wearing off. I'm going to do the dye job. Oh, that's just RC porn.
Hold on, I'll present you, Grant. Hold on, present to everybody. There you go.
Oh, let's see the transfer case.
Go back underneath.
Oh,
Art racing.
okay. Are those rollers very helpful to you?
I haven't driven it on the trail yet. I think it's more gimmicky though, from what I've heard on videos. Pop the body off.
I like your banners, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, new addition. I usually have them hanging on the wall, but I just put them up behind me.
Even the Hobbyco one sticking out there. Oh, geez, man, that's bling.
You even got the aluminum transmission.
Wow.
You got lots of money in that truck. Now, the only thing stock on that truck is probably just a chassis rail. Your audio's gone. You're muted, Keegan.
Better? Sorry about that.
Yep, I can hear you now.
The wheels and tire combination with the weights, and they're $300.
But yeah, but the only
stuff
thing
that's
stock, the only thing stock is just a chassis rail, right?
The chassis rail, the C-hubs, the lockouts, because the RC four-wheel drive C-hubs and the axial aluminum lockouts wouldn't fit on the Integy axles with the beef tubes in them. I think made them too big. The plastic would slide over, but not the aluminum.
Okay.
The drive shafts are still the axial drive shafts because I tried MIPs and they wouldn't fit on the Integy transmission.
Mm-hmm.
And then
running?
I put. Go ahead. Sorry.
What axles are you running?
The Integy.
Jeez.
Yeah, can't really see them very well. They're the stock SEX10 shape and everything, just made out of a steel or a cast material.
It's the cast aluminum they have.
And then it's just a skid plate that's mounted over them.
Integy really stepped up their game and their quality production in the past year also.
That's where the transmission case is from, Integy, and the radio box and the bumpers and the bumper mounts, a couple chassis braces.
Yeah, I've been looking at some of their bumpers and like the ones with the lights, and they're really, really nice.
Yeah.
And their prices have come down.
Yep.
Now, did you count how much money you got in that truck yet?
Let me show you something I actually did with this truck, and this isn't all of them. I started about.
Yeah, but don't do it.
Tags.
Don't do it. Oh, it's all the tags.
Yeah, I saved all the tags for it.
That's fine.
I'm thinking probably 2,000.
Yeah, it goes fast. Like when you.
It's probably higher than that.
Yeah, that you need the little bumper sticker. Don't tell my wife.
Yeah.
Luckily, I don't have one, so it worked out.
That's how you can spend that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, mine. Let's see here. The frame, the rig itself was used. The body was used from a friend.
Yeah.
All kinds of time and $6 in paint.
Yeah. Hey, you have more fun than I do with mine. And mine's a shelf queen.
The funniest joke I saw on Facebook was a guy put a post and he says, "My worst nightmare is that I wake up and my wife sold my RCs to what I told her they were worth."
Right. Selling them at a yard sale. Yeah. Whatever you want to give me for it, sure, take it.
Yep. But you know, sometimes it's not the cost that matters, right? Like
Oh, exactly.
I have a pair of Fat Shark goggles that I use for when I'm flying,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought they were great. I absolutely loved them. But now I'm flying with a quantum plastic $50 one screen. Love it. The picture seems like it's this freaking big.
Oh yeah.
I can zoom in and out with my little, and it's $50.
And you could probably wear your glasses with them too, right?
I can.
Yep. Yep. That's nice.
Yeah. And you know, yes, it's bigger than the Fat Sharks and it sticks off my face this far, but I don't care because it's light and I can see
Yeah.
really well.
That's what I want to try to do this year is find a cheap pair of goggles and a transmitter receiver, put it in the truck, and actually do FPV on my trail at the back.
Okay. Go to Hobby King. Look at the quantum goggles. Actually, I'll go get them for you. Hold on.
I think they're made out of styrofoam material and reinforced with plastic in all the right places and everything, so they're durable, just real lightweight. With a built-in screen, I believe. And Andromeda, I don't know, 6 months ago or something, came out with an FPV 18th scale, I want to say. Comes with a headset and camera and everything.
Oh yeah.
I think $250, $350, I forget.
All right. This is the first version of the all plastic ones. So that's the box.
Gotcha.
And
But then you look like a cyclops.
that's what it's called. And that's them.
Okay. Those are sharp.
$56. Axis
Now,
in.
did that come with any stock antennas or anything, or did you just buy your own antennas?
I buy my own antennas because I put nice antennas on my rigs, and with this tiny little antenna, I can get almost 3/4 of. Well, I haven't run out of range yet, and I've flown it like straight up really fast and really high, and but
Nice.
yeah, this is the best. This is the best rig I've seen, and where the battery sits in the pocket in the back, it actually is offsets the weight a little bit.
And it comes with the battery?
I can't remember.
Gotcha.
But
it'll all be on the website.
Yeah, I just run. There you go.
Nice.
So $99 for DVR FPV goggles. And then there's another one with integrated monitor receiver, but it does not have the DVR, but it's cheaper.
Yeah, the $40 one.
Yeah, $40.56.
Yep, that's all you need.
Okay, but this one has DVR, which means it will record what I'm seeing.
Right.
Yes. But here's what you do, Tank. You get a Mobius camera.
Yeah.
And you put that on top of your truck, and you record what your trip in HD.
Okay, but because this is not HD.
No.
Gotcha. Now somebody else could be wearing a set and watching it at the same time on the same frequency. Nice.
Yeah, you can have. I have on my ground station. I have a monitor, so anybody can walk by and see what I'm doing. I have another plug-in for a different set of headset.
Cool.
But anybody can I can just scroll through, like when we go to the flying events, like the North American FPV meet in Quebec this year. You'll see a bunch of people with goggles on. They'll just be flipping through the frequencies during a race, watching their favorite pilot fly.
That's awesome.
You know,
Hmm.
just as thrilling, and you don't have to sweat as much because you're not the one flying it. But there you go.
So there's Joey.
There he is. Yep. The big man himself. Actually, he's not very big. He's shorter than me.
Yeah.
But if you look on there as well.
Yeah, they stick out a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're comfortable. What you can also find on there is a little. There's a little docking station for a Mobius camera.
Okay.
So what that does is the docking station turns the Mobius into a 5.8 gig video receiver camera. So it transmits the video for you.
Nice.
So you can also you can see what the Mobius is seeing. You won't see it in HD in your glasses. It'll be SD, but it'll record in HD. So you can do it that way. Or you can get a little tiny little board cam that has an antenna on it, and you can just pop that anywhere on your truck and go.
That's cool.
Or you can actually put a head tracking unit in your goggles, and then you can put a little gyro or a servo.
Yeah, that I'd love to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you have two. You have two servos on it, so you turn your head, and then you up and down.
Yeah.
So you have a camera that's doing.
See,
that.
my problem is if I buy this, which camera do I buy for the truck, and which antenna do I buy for the truck, and what's compatible with it to make it a kit? I know nothing about FPV, so that's my biggest challenge. Because see, they have some here, like they have this antenna and they have this. Will this work with it? Will that one work with it? I don't know.
Okay. 5.8 is what you're going to run. So any camera that says it's 5.8, because that's all you'll need for your truck. So even that little one that you're pointing over there, like $22.
Yep.
You know, that's going to be okay, but it's probably transmitting at like maybe 50 milliwatts.
This one is 25 megawatts.
25 meg. All right.
See, $34, you get 600 megawatts.
There you go. That's the one you want. And you put a good antenna on that, because they all come with those crappy antennas.
So this antenna, you're saying it's crappy?
Yeah. It might not be bad for a truck. I don't know.
To drive around your house without any walls or anything would probably be fine.
Yeah, but with the power that thing puts out too, that's good, because then you'll be able to see through trees, and your signal will go through trees and stuff like that, and you won't get too much resistance.
Now this antenna works with that?
Yep. Anything that says 5.8.
Then it's just a matter of how good it works.
Yep.
I see. Those mushroom ones are good, aren't they?
They are good. That's exactly what mine is without the case.
Okay, gotcha.
And this fits onto this little thing.
The SMA, you got to check to see if they're the same connector. Because you could buy one that has the pin, and the other one has the socket, and then the other one has each company makes them a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. And you're saying you can wear your glasses with these ones?
Yep.
I watch the RC Sailors, and one of the husband and wife, the husband has glasses and uses something similar.
I just put that in my wish list. I'll check that out tomorrow.
All right. Hey, Tank. Right over
Modeling them for you. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, I'll go to you.
They look fairly lightweight.
Oh,
Go right over his glasses, no problem. Didn't pull them off when he took them off.
Cool.
And you can get, it comes with different foams, so you can, your worst your worst enemy when doing this is light coming in, because it washes out.
Yeah.
You just don't want that.
Should hook a hood onto it.
Yeah. Well, it comes with different foams that you can attach to it.
Okay.
But it's got the lens inside, which I can move in and out.
Cool.
And it's a Fresnel lens, and I have different Fresnel lenses, so I can adjust my magnification.
Neat.
Cool. Well, thanks, Grants RC, for showing up. Grants RC is going to go for the night.
Okay.
Well, good evening.
Later,
Open that other character up.
See, you saw the antenna on my goggles, but that's my antenna for my plane. And there's my little video transmitter just inside.
Cool.
Tiny little 600 milliwatt.
Now, with 600 megawatt, how far can you go?
With this plane, I've gone over a mile.
Wow.
And I don't know exactly how far I've gone with it. I just know that with this thing, I can go like 100 miles an hour, and I haven't lost signal no matter what. I was upside down, a foot off the ground, 1,500 feet up. It doesn't matter.
Outstanding. Now, what's the wingspan on that?
This is a Reflex 38 inches.
Okay.
This is our racing wing,
Cool.
and that's where I work, GBRC Wings.
Nice.
Now, you fly wings. You don't fly drones?
No. Well, I've got this tricopter, but I prefer the wing.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like, I just find this more enjoyable.
But the only thing with wings, you can't hover like you can with a quad.
Right, but when my battery dies on that plane, on that wing, I can still fly and glide down.
Like a glider?
You got it balanced out nice. The battery's not too heavy to make it nose heavy or anything.
Oh no, it's balanced perfectly on the
Nice.
CG. So
Okay, but when it dies down, you got enough power to run your servos to control it?
yeah, and
You got a lipo warning in your controller or something probably.
yeah, and I have a different. I can put my video transmitter on a different battery, but what I have it on is a back, but it's running lower than the cutoff on my battery. So if I don't have enough power to run the prop, I still have video.
Gotcha.
So I can fly it and not crash it. Actually, that's crashed a couple of times, but it still goes.
Yeah, at least the prop's behind the wings. Keeps the prop in one piece, probably. At least
yeah,
the motor.
Whenever the motor stops spinning, the prop goes like this, lines up with the wings, so when I land, it doesn't do anything.
Cool.
I don't think there's a lot of people flying wings over here.
No, I should send Chris one of the kits. I kicked myself because I missed the last show and I saw Chris was on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chris loves flying. He's got a whole bunch of different planes and he really enjoys flying.
Well, get him to send me a message and I'll send him a plane.
Cool. Heck, I'll send you a message. Heck, I'll send you a message.
Yeah, we've got a 60. We've got the 60-inch wing, which is great. That's our that's my long range plane. I'm still.
Wow, that's 5 feet wide.
Yeah. Then we have the Apex, which is just a little guy. It's only about this wide. Runs on the. You can run it on the same battery or the same prop and motor that comes off of a racing quad.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, they look like they run those stubby motors in those wings, little short motors.
Yeah, mine's not that. What am I running?
Brushless, but
oh yeah, I have to run brushless. This is a 26 or 2836 2200 kV motor.
cool.
Yeah, it's a screamer, and it's a Integy motor, so it's
Oh, nice.
$12.
Oh, wow.
The most expensive thing on this whole plane is, not including the plane or the wing, is the video transmitter, and that's 2 years old. So even that one isn't expensive anymore.
Now, how do you take off with those things? Does it have wheels to take off and landing?
Throw it.
I throw it.
Throw it and power up.
I grab it like this and I give it a toss. Just
Oh yeah. And when you land, you just land it on the grass?
Right on its belly.
I fly it into the ground.
Does it have a plastic on the bottom or anything for gliders or runners or anything?
No, but
doesn't that hurt the prop when you land on the ground, though?
The fins.
Okay, yep, that's what it lands on. Yep.
The wing fences have the on the bottom.
Gotcha. He said that the prop turns sideways parallel with the wing when it lands.
Yeah. Oh, when I let off the gas, the prop does this, lines up with the wing. Never catches. I've never broken this prop. This is the original prop. Never broken it.
Okay. Cool.
That's cool.
Sounds like an F1 car when it flies overhead.
Now, how much is your kit?
Oh,
You guys sell that, right?
yeah, we sell that. You'd have to just go to the website and see the prices. I'm not the one in charge of prices. I make the kits and box them up and take them to the post office.
Cool.
What's the website?
TBRC Wings.
TV?
B.
TB.
TB?
Yep, it's a boy.
RC? Wings?
Wings.
tbrcwings.com.
Yep.
There it is. Hoop, there it is. Present to everybody. Maybe we should talk about it next week.
There you go.
Let's talk wings. Nothing flies like TBRC wings.
Oh, wow.
There's an Apex.
The Villain. That's our new racing wing.
Presently out of stock.
That's good.
Bestseller, $60. Apex version 2.
Yeah, we have 3D printed parts for that, like motor mounts and wing fences. You see the,
so it's 175, 135, and $60.
See the Reflex V2?
Yeah.
See the one with the flames to the right of it, above the add to cart?
Yeah.
Yeah, I airbrushed that.
Oh, wow.
And then laminated directly over it.
Okay.
Free-handed flames.
Definitely an advantage of airbrush. You can spray right on foam and it won't eat it.
No.
You don't have to have a special spray painter or whatever.
No, just not the CPP.
Yep.
This is carving foam.
Yep. I run the CNC machine that cuts them.
Oh, neat.
The yellow part looks like corrugated plastic.
Yeah, Coroplast. That's exactly what it is. Mine are yellow. I just wrap them in orange tape because I like orange.
Gotcha.
You want to get someone on, you get Anthony. Throw him on the talk.
He's a designer, or?
He's the boss.
Ah, I got you.
He sponsored Team Canada. Last year they went to Drone Nationals in Hawaii. That's David. That's the designer.
Okay.
He does a lot of coding and stuff.
Brand newest plane. Market. 38 inches wide and made of solid, very durable EPP foam. Now, one of the great things about this plane is it flies nicely as a gentle cruiser. It's designed to go fast. This is a racing plane. We'll get into that in a second. Right now, I want to show you some of the features that makes the reflex different to everything else out there. Firstly, we have custom designed winglets. This shape is aerodynamically superior to what's out there. First of all, it's sitting forward about an inch of the leading edge and about an inch to half inch below the bottom of the wing. This provides superior airflow on the wingtips, reduces wing waggle, and gives you actually better performance and flight time. Another great advantage of this is you have a very big battery bay.
That's a big battery.
5200 3S battery in here right now as it is, and I still have plenty of room to spare. But the battery bay goes even deeper than we can see. We have what I call the shelf, or some people call the secret compartment, where the EPP actually goes in underneath, allowing you to tuck away your wires and give you as much empty space in your bay as possible. Now the kit comes with all the chloroplast, all the laminate, all the foam, all the spars. Basically, you just got to put in your electronics and you're ready to go flying. Now on this plane, I wanted to try to go put a big motor on it. I have a 3530 1400 kV motor, an 8x4 prop, and it flies great.
I want to see it fly.
With this battery, between 40 minutes and an hour of flight time.
Wow.
On a cruise.
That's what he's got his set up. Mine will fly for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops.
They're really smooth and fast.
We made for our friend Gizmo. This is the plane that actually won the NAFBV event 2015, the wing race.
There's flames on that one.
Same aircraft.
That's the one I painted.
Motor, we have a 2836 2200 kV motor.
Same motor on mine.
545 prop. This gets some serious speed. Whereas my other plane, I've got the OSD and all the extras. It's the lean, mean racing machine.
See you later, Steve.
Yeah, I'm going to link to the videos below showing the races. You can have a look to see for yourself how this goes when it's flying. So check out the store, www.tb.
Yeah, go check out the link below.
Right.
www.tbrcwing.
Want to see that thing fly? Here's the race.
Oh, nice vertical takeoff. That's a good idea.
I think that's down.
So there's a guy there that seems to have a jet. This guy here has a jet. Doesn't look like it's a wing. This guy's got a wing.
Yeah, it's open class.
Oh, it's open glass.
Let's go, Gizmo. And everyone's go back.
All right, are we all set?
Hey, guys.
All right, folks, let's make it a clean race. 3, 2, 1. Bit of a rough start for Gizmo. Probably that trim that he's got to fix in the air. And
That's up, Gizmo. You gotta get down.
cut out in front. Has a little bit of trouble in that second turn, but he's got him around.
Well, that doesn't sound healthy. Keep going. You're gonna hear him win.
Oh, Gizmo's not winning right now. Cool.
You just YouTube some of these races. Sometimes you'll see flights where it's being recorded by a chase plane. They're actually seeing it flying by chasing something else.
Cool. Something to look at for sure.
Yeah. Show Chris that next time you're over at the shop working on your Tonka.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm going to end the broadcast. We've been way over 2 hours. I usually put these for 2 hours. We'll stay chit-chat a few more minutes, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for showing up for RC Talk, and thanks for jumping in. And please like, comment, and share this video, and we'll see you next week on RC Talk.